There I go. Maybe I got sound now. Yeah, I forgot to put myself off. So, hi, Linux. How it goes out there? Thank you for showing up and telling me I'm not. I forgot to turn myself on, so to speak. So, yeah, how's it going out there? How's it doing, Linux aficionado? Yeah, I got sound now, right? Hopefully, I should because I just had to turn that unmute that mic, so I should have sound now. Check, works good, thank you. Yeah, so anyway, I had my shirt. I don't know if you saw it, but I have my shirt here. Breakfast, second breakfast, 11 Z's, lunch and afternoon tea, dinner, and supper. Yeah. That's one present I got for my birthday last week. I'm going to show you another one. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take y'all off this peg here and move you around a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Plus, I can show you my setup, how I got it set up so far. Alrighty. I don't know how much I can stretch this up. Things up over here. Yeah, my cord management isn't the greatest, as you can tell when you'll see it in a bit. Anyway, over here is my Acer Aspire that I'm going to install Nobara on. Nobara. For some reason it's hard to say with dentures. Nobara. Anyway, it looks like we got this over here. This Acer Aspire. It's my old 10-year-old laptop that I got, and I'm going to install Nobara on this puppy. And then you notice I have a wire here coming out of it. And the wire goes all the way over here to my next new present, which is, ta-da! That's what I want to use today, is a video USB 3.0 HDMI video capture. And it goes over here up to this, but right now it's not showing anything. I have to move my cursor around, maybe I can get it to show up. There it goes. Unlock. I hope I remember how to unlock it. Okay, good. Doesn't require any passwords or nothing. So I'm good. So yeah, you can see all of my wires. I have excellent communication service, don't I? Excellent wire not. So yeah, so you got that. Of course, here you got my framework, which is my hub of everything that I've got going on here. And yeah, so that's also another present. I'm not going to be using this today, but I got a little bitty monitor for my little bitty Pi, Raspberry Pi 400 there. The monitor is so small that I can't hardly read any installation, so I'm going to have to do installation on this monitor up here. And then when I'm finished the installation, I can stick it back down on this monitor. I have to change the resolution before I do it. Find out when I did that with the put on there arm. Yeah, Endeavor OS. Yeah, that's what I put on there. So yeah, you got that, and you got all that good. So that's basically the presents I got. I maybe got another item or two, small things, stuff like that. I can't remember what else I got. Oh, I got a whiskey glass that has a Lord of the Rings stuff on it, Marching Fellowship of the Ring type thing. So yeah, pretty good. Had a good birthday, all that good stuff. So that was last Saturday. Now this Saturday, and then a week later, I had first birthday, second birthday, and third birthday. They celebrated later on. So we have it ready to go. So anyway, that's my Christmas presents. Let's see, nobody else showed up yet? Okay, well, maybe. We'll see. Alright, so we have Nobara Linux. A gaming distro based on Fedora. Okay, now we're going to look at the website, a couple of websites actually, to give an idea what it's about and what the deal is with Nobara. What's the scoop, so to speak. So we'll go over here. What is the Nobara project? So, Nobara project, to put it simply, is a modified version of Fedora Linux with user-friendly fixes added to it. In other words, I mean, you can use Fedora for gaming, but it's a lot of work to kind of get it all set up and together and all that kind of stuff. You have to kind of know what you're doing, that kind of thing. Especially things they've done here. They've done things that most people won't be able to easily accomplish by putting a lot of patches and fixes over it. I'm gonna go over here first before you look at this. I'm gonna go think. Yeah. This is an article by Linux Gaming Central. And yeah, so it has all the modifications they made to it here. It's packages that come with Nobara project. Includes all these wine dependencies, third-party codec string. Now, what do you do when you log over to their website and you click on download link? It'll first bring up a EUIL, whatever that is, the thing where you sign it and it says, okay, you can have it, type thing. It's basically it's a licensing thing basically, because that way by doing that up front though, the way they do that is they then get rights to put everything up on the fly instead of after you install the whole distro. So that's pretty good. So you get third-party codecs, Steam, Lutris, GameScope, Zone, Go, Overlay. All those are installed out of the box. VB, Salt, LibreOffice, Print Drivers, Kdenlive, Blender, Proton Up, Qt, and Flat Repo enabled by default. Flat Hub Repo enabled by default, not just installed, but enabled. Pretty good. So there you go. You got all those things you can install on here. You can get NVIDIA drivers. And it says while these packages can be installed in vanilla Fedora computer, the goal here is to make a gamer's life with Linux more simple. When you enter the terminal, just got everything set up so that you can start gaming right away. Additionally, the Nobara project comes with a few tweaks. Just the kernel itself has been patched with, and they list all these things here, which some people would probably know more than I would about what all they all do and that kind of thing, but obviously there's a lot of patches. And I think somewhere here lists of patches. Yeah, and then you got upgrade, troubleshooting, NVIDIA drivers, OBS Studio, Xbox controller modification details, and changelog. I don't changelog would have some. Okay. Maybe not. Look at that much. I think. Yeah, here we are. Bug fixes and gaming oriented updates. See, they patch the kernel with a bunch of stuff all through here. And they've got a set for NVIDIA cards. And avoids Wayland freezes. And yeah, Mesa glibc patch with clone 3 disabled fixes and company. See, I got a bunch of patches here. DNF fastest mirror enabled. And so they got a little stream of things here, they do. And then they have general usage improvements, including NVIDIA GPU detection, driver auto installation, which I experienced when I installed on my son's computer out there, because it came up and almost automatically once you log into your new system, once you install it, pops up and then a little thing says, the internet's not on, I can't go get the NVIDIA driver. So, yeah. So it has GPU detection, and it pulls from raw high bleeding edge, so you usually get the latest NVIDIA drivers as soon as they're available. Nautilus Classic. So yeah, there's got a lot of stuff here. So what they've done here is they've taken Fedora, they made it a gaming system, and they did things that most users probably wouldn't have either the time or the know-how or whatever to accomplish all this stuff here. And they made it. So hopefully it'll result in better gameplay. And they say that it is. Hi, Sir Ron. How you doing? Good to see you out. Yeah, so we're looking at Nobara, I think is how you pronounce it. Yeah, so yeah, and so yeah, there's a lot of things they've done to this package to really make it hopefully work good. So far, it's worked. I have installed my son's laptop, my gaming desktop out in the living room. Now we're going to install here, and so it does on an older computer. Yeah, so. RPM Fusion repos enabled by default. So yeah, all that enabled. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff here to go through and do, but yeah, that gives you the basics of it. Now we're gonna go back up here. Download Nobara, you can just click right there and you download it. It goes download page, which you see here. Now you have several mirrors you can use. You can use the EU mirror, which is in Europe somewhere probably. And you can use the EU mirror and EU mirrors. Apparently you only use EU mirrors on this download. And I think you just click it and oh, that brings that's ISO. That's the sum. This is the one you want if you want the ISO itself. This will log yourself. I think it will anyway. I'll just, even though I've already downloaded this and I don't need to download it again, I'm going to click on it just so you go through and see what it does. And downloads the SHA sum 256 sum, it looks like to me. Down the ISO itself. Here's the download thing. Yeah, see here you go through in the user license agreement. Basically, you're gonna be installing a bunch of stuff that's proprietary. And so if you don't like that, you don't want to use this. But if you're a gaming person, don't use Windows, this is a lot better option, you know. So, yeah, and you got your third-party repository policy. So anyway, so you say I agree, and then it goes download, and you hit save, and it downloads the ISO into there, just like that. And it cancels since I already downloaded it. And then you download your SHAs to figure out the SHA sum. And it's a GNOME ISO, official ISO, GNOME ISO, and a KD ISO. So 3 different ones you have options here. I downloaded KDE, but I almost wish I had downloaded the official one because what it is modified GNOME, and I wonder how they modified it exactly. Some other people can find out when you install it yourself, I guess. I got KD on this one, and it works pretty well from what I can tell so far. Not like I've been on it for months to know how it works, but yeah. And we have all that, so that's all that. So that's how you download it, and that's how you burn it. You know how to burn it on the DVD, I'm sure most of you do. You know, you can look at my video on that, which I'll try and remember to go back and link in my notes. But at any rate, use DDD if you're on Linux, Rufus or or what's the other one? Forgot now. Yeah, Rufus or the other one that's popular on Windows or some of those other. Or use it on Linux. Some of them you use on Linux too. So anyway, we'll get back over here. And I never did do push my lower did. See, okay, I haven't been able to see what I've been looking at, have you? Whoopsie daisy. Yeah, Linux aficionado says I still have mixed feelings about Fedora, having tried it several times with mixed results, but this past May, when 36 came out, I tried the KD spin, still using it on the laptop. Cool. And this actually is more of a Calamar's installer, so no, it's not Calamar's. It's it still uses Fedora's installer on it, but yeah. So anyway, yeah. So there you got your, as I was saying before, you have your official version here. You have your GNOME 36 version here, vanilla GNOME, and your vanilla KDE version, which you can download by clicking this link here. Or you can download your SSH 256 to check, make sure you got downloaded correctly. So there you go. Sorry I didn't have it on lower to before you, otherwise you could have seen what I was looking at. So I read most of that off to you, but yeah. See, when you first log in on this web page, yeah, you click download, you go download Nobara. I wanted to say, I wondered, it's kind of a joke, basically, but Nobara, I wonder if the Nob stand for noob. I don't know, probably not, but actually Nobara is a last name of a famous person, I think, or something like that. If I remember, I ran across it on the websites when I was doing some research on this. So yeah. Alright, let's get started on this deal here. Okay. We're gonna go down to I think we're gonna go down to the video thing. Now what you're looking at is my blank screen of my DVD. It's since had some problems. We'll get it back up and clicking here. Just a minute. There we go. There we have the cursor and everything. So my video caption card works pretty good, doesn't it? So far so good, at least. We'll determine that later on. So anyway, yeah, this is Nobara. I've already taken liberties of booting up on a live image since you've seen it 100 times, and this is a bit of a slow computer over here, so I wanted to get things set up on it good. So yeah, we got Nobara here, and we got installed a hard drive right to there. We're gonna install this now. What I had on here before was Slackware. I installed back when we did Slackware and Linux Saloon, that kind of thing, for a while. But yeah, so I installed Slackware on that, but apparently it's broke since then. Can't open the kernels, and it can't mount a drive brew partition. So naturally can't mount the kernel either. So anyway, so it needs a new installation of someone anyways. And we will go up here. And like I say, I use the Anaconda installer, which is what Fedora uses. But we'll show you how to do this. Matter of fact, one of the reasons I'm glad to have a full disk over here is I want to show you how it works. If you have a full disk, you just want to erase it and you want to put something new on it. That's how you do it. Because Fedora is a little bit wonky this way. That's right. Okay. Oh, there you go. Welcome to Fedora 36 for language like using the install process. English, of course, since I don't know much other languages to use. I've studied a few languages like Espanol and stuff like that, but none that I can use it on a regular basis that much. So what we have here is we have English keyboard, yeah. It selected the right Americans, Denver, satellite mountain time zone, so that's correct, yep. Installation destination, this is one we're going to check on. Now this is one I want to check on here. This is the driver we need to install the puppy on. This is my USB flash drive over here that has an installation on it. This over here is one we're going to install on. It's a Toshiba. And it's one, this computer originally came with 250 gigabyte drive on it. This is a 1 terabyte drive, as you can tell. So I got that on now. This drive is full. Matter of fact, I think, see, one is selected. Capacity. You got 107 kilobytes free. That's probably why it's not moving up very well. How did I have that? I don't know. That makes sense. Anyway, we're going to select that disk and we're going to. Now, what you have to do if you have a full disk and you want to clean it up, you have to go over here and say, I would like to make additional space available. So what will happen if you just do it without it, it's going to say, hey, you don't have room for this system, and it'll kick you back out of the installation process. Then you have to start over, that kind of thing. But anyway, so you want to click that. And I'd like to make additional space available. Now, when you hit next, you're done up here. Actually, you hit done up here. It will take you to the next step in the process doing just that. It's a pretty simple process, actually, if you know what you're doing. So if you don't know what you're doing, it's kind of confusing. So, okay. And there it goes. Now, what this is, you have preserve. That just says what actions you're going to take on. We're not going to preserve any, so we're going to just hit delete all. We're going to delete everything on this disk. Start all fresh over. And so now it's all been marked to delete. Okay. Okay, and then you got reclaim space here. And boom, it's claimed and it's automatic partitioning selected. So yeah, that's how you do that. And that's helpful, I'm sure, for people. And now here you have your root account and your user account. Now if you can just set up your user account like this, like you would expect. Full name, Ulrich. Oh, come on. Oh yeah, it's over here. I forget. Sometimes I confuse what keyboard I'm on over here. So let's see, I spelled my name correctly. Yep. And I usually use Rick for my username. Now, administrative privileges to this user account. So we want that probably, and require password to use this account. Yep, we want that too. So you want a strong, complicated password, not one like this. So making, but since this is a well, it is an installation on a real computer, isn't it? Not a virtual machine anymore. So yeah. Advanced. Too short, it says. Now, when it says if you put in a too short, it does a password to my match, it says. Okay, yeah. So it says password's too short, you'll have to press done twice to confirm it. In other words, you can use a short password or something in here, but you have to press twice on it to get it to work. So you have to go 1 and 2. And then it will take it. like I say, it's kind of slow computer, so it reacts slowly in some of these things. And notice root account no longer has anything to do on it. It's ready to begin installation, it says. If you wanted to set up your root account with a different password, you could still do that. Simply go over here and enable root account. It's got it automatically disabled by default whenever you create a user but not a root user first. It disables root account. You can enable the root account by clicking on that and then entering 2 passwords for that, and then you can go on. But we're gonna say done on that. That's fine. All right, now I'm ready to go. Begin installation now. Probably notice that it looks smooth on my screen, but the cursor is a little jerky on this screen. Hey, yeah, okay. Or sometimes it doesn't move at all. I got 2 cursors on the screen. Well, this is probably my other cursor. So yeah, still it moves smoothly on the screen, but it moves jerkily on the video capture. Not sure if I need to fix that or whatever, but yeah, that's why I moved around like that. Jerk. Anyway, you notice it's beginning to install. So it's creating ButterFS. It's installing software now, and it's cooking away. So yeah, so that's good. So that's the install process for Anaconda for this. Now everything says Fedora 36 on, which it's using Fedora 36 as base, obviously, and that kind of thing. So, have you had any interesting Linux stuff going on this week? While we wait for this to install this puppy, we'll discuss some other things. Now, let's see, I had seemed like there was something I was going to discuss. I don't remember what it was. Hate it when that happens. Anyway, installing software for 3%. Yay! Oh, that's 39%. Yay, bad, much better. 3% by this point would be like, oh man, it's gonna take forever. You know, it's cooking along pretty. I mean, Fedora isn't the fastest installation of all of them, but it's pretty good overall. It doesn't take too long. I mean, you're talking about the difference between 5 minutes for some installers and 10 minutes to 15 minutes for some others. OpenSUSE takes a while to install. Some of them will start the installation of this part of it before you finish typing in stuff for that. I know MX Linux does that. Their installer, that kind of thing. So yeah, what have y'all been talking about on Linux Loon lathes that's of interest? I know we got Linux Loons coming up pretty soon, and today actually. And it's got the what am I trying to say? Oh yeah, they got they're looking at leap. They're gonna leap off the edge of the cliff at Linux Loon tonight. I can't be there unfortunately because that's one of the reasons I changed this to Saturday morning, just because I have my wife and kid and my son who live here with me, and they're both off on evenings now. Their work schedules changed, so I can't do Wednesday nights anymore, so I've switched it to Saturday mornings. So, yeah, so I won't be able to be at much more Lansing because our family night's kind of is Saturday night, so that kind of puts a muffle on that part. So that's why I haven't been at the Lansing for a while. I want to be, but haven't been there. Basically because of that reason, because by the time y'all are starting up your show, I'm kind of like going out to eat with my family. So If they ever have more early shows, I'll try and catch some of those. But at any rate, um, let's see, what are we gonna do here? Oh, it's still installing now. 25% installing software. 39% was for last time. Maybe the whole installation process. But the installing of software itself, same. They started over and they started installing software. It's not the fastest thing in the world, especially on this laptop. It's kind of slow a little bit. Yeah. My radio capture card over here captures it pretty well. I mean, colors are pretty good on it, so I'm quite impressed. It's only like about $36 or something like that. And I've used Fedora several times, and kind of like Linux aficionado, I've used it as a daily driver even before. For some reason, it always seems to, I don't know if it's a little pop-up thing that pops up. Now, one of the things that's nice about Nobara, said I remember seeing on the website, was that it has it kind of gets that out of the way, so it's not so uh, in your face all the time. It doesn't pop up on top of your games and stuff. Little say Linux, uh, their security wallet type thing. Yeah, they have that, and so Nobara kind of keeps out of your way more than Fedora itself does, I guess. One of the other nice things on this is that Fedora, like my son, he's real bad about updating. Terrible, 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 terrible. And so anyway, I installed Nobara on his computer because his I had on his laptop, gaming laptop, which he has in his room, and I saw Nobara on it, and it was pretty successful. Yeah, they need to work on the method that they use to install mm, NVIDIA drivers. So I can't remember what I'm thinking about there, but anyway, yeah, you got to install NVIDIA drivers. And NVIDIA drivers, the way they do it is that when you first log in, if you have an NVIDIA driver, if it detects an NVIDIA driver on your computer, it will then want to install an NVIDIA driver, obviously. Just fine, good, that's the way it should work. But yeah, but usually when you log in like on a live computer like this, right now I've got Wi-Fi set up. I set up before the show started. But yeah, if you yeah, when you first log into your system, it wants to install video driver right away. But of course, you can if you haven't. If your Wi-Fi is not set up yet, so it gives us a little error message every time. So, and it tells you to go to a terminal and enter uh, HD check, I think is the name of the program script file it uses. And yeah, so it's that's interesting. But yeah, so and one time I had to redo it twice. I had to install it twice. So the first time it didn't work for some reason, so I reinstalled it again, and it worked. So yeah, so HD check will check your hardware, I guess, and install any NVIDIA drivers you have need. And it installs other third-party things too. If you have like a Broadcom thing, of course it's a catch-22. You may have to. Yeah, in certain cases, if you have a certain driver, now my Pi over here, 400, has Broadcom on thing. That may be why I'm not having very much luck getting Wi-Fi connected. Not sure why, because it used to work. And it worked a time or two, but then it just stops working all of a sudden. Boom. Haven't figured out what's going on there, but it's happened on uh, Endeavor's OS, and it's happened on the board, not on the board, but the other ARMs I've tried to install on Raspberry Pi. And So, yeah. I'm gonna have to start singing a song or something for long. Let me entertain you, baby. So type of thing. No, don't see, don't see, don't see. Now, back in the day, I could have sung pretty well, but not now. Yeah. La, 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 la. Something stupid like that. Anyway, yeah, when you get dentures and you get, and you have Parkinson's, it affects your voice quality and range. My range is gone shrunk a bit. So, well, it says we're 66% finished installing software, so hopefully it won't be too much longer. And let's see, what do I have? Oh, Linux. I used to have on this other Acer 5 I have over here. It's a more modern computer. I can show it to you real quick. And I usually have the Acer Aspire connected up to. This is my Acer Aspire 5. This is my Acer Aspire 5. See, 5236Z-4427. They shortened it. Quite a bit on this one. But it's my Aspire 5 thin laptop. It's done a good job for me. It's got a Ryzen 3 there. And Radeon graphics, GPU. And see, Alexa, I never worked. I just liberated Alexa with installing things on here, and so that was. I think it had Windows 10 on it, maybe 8 when I first got it. I don't remember exactly when I got it, what was on it. But yeah, this had Windows 7, the one over there. See that tag right? See there, Windows 7. So again, Intel Pentium on it. So yeah, with that, I have recorded there. So that is setup I have there. Anyway, my Aspire 3. I was going to go somewhere with that one. I can't remember where I was going to. Anyway, yeah. So my Aspire 3 season what? Yeah. So la 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 la. Yeah, someday I'm gonna have to do a video of my computer setups for everywhere. Have to use my cell phone probably for that. And I have to talk real loud because this is like the gain on this is turned up way up so you can hear me better. Especially, and I can talk if all I have to do is talk distinctly, and you probably hear me most of the time. That's whenever I start mumbling and start garbling my words that people can't hear me. Alright, it says 91% finished installing software, yay. So it should kick on to all the rest of it here in a bit, and it'll speed up things a lot, I think. So hopefully we're almost done. Find out soon enough. It's 93% done. La 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 la. Fedora is a nice distro. I understand Fedora is the one that Linus Torvald uses. At least that's what I've heard. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but it's likely. I could see because it is very solid distro. It's also very rolling distro too. I mean, it's not as rolling as bleeding edge as Arch is, which is a good thing for most people. But it also will just work out of the box pretty much. Not out of the box, but it'll work pretty solidly once you get it set up. So I think that's what a lot of people like about it. I had it set from my HP laptop out and where my wife was on cinnamon desktop for a while. Seemed to work pretty good on there till I wiped it out with something else. I do that on occasion. She'll go to her laptop, open it up, and she never knows what distro is going to be on there. Okay, we're installing bootloaders now. Woohoo! That's where it speeds up a lot. Installing bootloader is one of the last things it does on most distros. Then it'll do the init, FS setup, and all that kind of stuff. Installing bootloader. Yeah, sometimes this computer over here is pretty slow. It's like, well, I had a Intel GMA 4500 MHD. It still has it probably. It's an Intel chip 4500. So you can guess how fast that puppy is. I had Windows 7 on it in the day. So when I first got it, and it came with 2 gigabytes of memory. And as I mentioned, it came with 250 gigabyte hard drive. Now the hard drive, of course, I switched out, and I have added more memory to it too. I think I can't remember where I got 6 gigabytes or 10 in here. Find out when I get this Nobara booted up into. So it's on bootloader. And we'll get there in a minute, sure. Yeah, you should see how tiny I am. I had, of course, my eyes aren't the best to begin with, but it had this little screen I showed you earlier. I don't remember. I don't know if y'all saw it. I'll give you another shot. Look at it real quick. It's a little screen pie screen I had earlier. Yeah, that little thing. It's like 7-inch screen. It's real tiny, but it works on the Pi. And I first had it. I had Endeavor OS on there initially, and that's about as I'm gonna get that. So anyway, I had this tiny print on the screen because it's a real tiny monitor, and I think it's got it set for 600, no, 1280 by 600, something like that. So yeah, so it has a little tiny print, like tiny print. I can't hardly read it. So I had to get a magnifying glass out to look at it and see what it looks like. And I looked on it, and I still saw a little wow. But anyway, I looked at it and still couldn't read it. It's so tiny, it was hard to read at all. So even with magnifying glass, so they're reading it, and yeah. So I gave up on that. I'm gonna have to connect it up to the big monitor so I can see what it'll look like. Then once it logs in, I can change the resolution on it, and then I can switch back over to there. Yeah, so I'm still fiddling with that, trying to figure out exactly how to use it and what purpose I have for this. It just seemed like a cool thing to have. A little monitor for your little computer, pipe computer. See, bootloader is still. Oh, I finally moved on. Figure installed systems. And that's zooming along real fast there once it hits that part. Configuring installed systems. But the weight is worth it in it. Yeah. Weight is worth it. To get what you want on here. generating now the init RAMFS sections. And boom. Yeah, this video capture device I've bought will help a lot in helping to record things. Before, I never could record another computer installing like this. Now I can plug this puppy into it. Which only downside is I can't do it on this computer over here because it doesn't have an HDMI connector on it. Somewhere I have a VGA to HDMI adapter, but last time it came out kind of weird on color. It's all yellow and stuff. Maybe a way I can fix that, but yeah, I tried several things at a time and gave up on it. But anyway, yeah, I could install that on there if I wanted to, I guess, but I'll probably just stick with these computers here. Anytime I'm gonna put some on this Acer Aspire 5 thin, I'll make a show out of it or something like that. But actually, it's kind of a complicated process on this puppy. Yep. Still generating. There it goes. That's more running post installation scripts. We're almost done. It looks like. Yay! And then we'll have it ready to roll. Yeah. Anaconda installer is pretty good overall, but it's kind of weird the way it does things. But yeah, you just have to make sure all your red spots are cleared. Once that's done, then you can. Now before I was going to mention, I forgot that time when I was talking about how to clear your hard drive. Yeah, before I can't remember, it was on Fedora 20 something or whatever. Anyway, first time I tried to install this, I just clicked on there and went, okay, I can just do it, but it didn't have enough room on there to install a system. So then I had to go back and I had to try and figure out how to do it. It's complete, yay! So I went back and did it. Let's see. That's installation, yep. I think I clicked it. Yeah, I did. There it goes. Yeah, you can tell this computer's not the fastest computer in the world, can't you? Yeah, so. You're right. Yeah, I was going to mention that I couldn't do it that way. The way I just did it on there, I couldn't clear it out. I kept going to the reclaim space all the time and didn't reclaim anything. That was helpful. So must have been doing something wrong or didn't understand what I was doing anyway. So what I did was I just booted into the live disk, used gparted to clear it out, and then I went back and installed it. Workarounds, they work. So anyway, now we got to reboot this system, and we'll be ready to go. Okay, here we're starting. It's real slow right now. Okay. Now we'll do a reboot of the whole system. I think I can take my anything like that. Okay, I got my USB out. Let's reboot in our new system. Hopefully it'll work. Excuse me. And we have it up here. Here goes. Oh yeah, we're in the grub already. Went through grub. And I think it's another difference between Nobara and Fedora. I think Fedora doesn't use grub by default. I think it uses system D boot. So now we're setting up. We're doing our initial setup. AD Plasma on here. And it's done with that. So it's going to kick over here to the Display Manager login screen. Ta-da! Brick couple. Got that part great, didn't we? Okay. And this one. Okay. Now we're doing the ADs. We're going. Loading up. And we'll be ready to start looking at it pretty quick here. Aren't you excited? Taking a look at what they installed on here. I know some of what they installed will be different, but AKD. There we go. Oops, I gotta change it back over there. Yeah, I'm having to display, but let's see. Yeah, you can't see this on the screen because it's on my computer laptop here. And that's all it's being captured. Because it's just, I gotta change display on it. Hold on just a minute. Aha. Changing over here, okay? And then you need to go down to display monitors. And click on this. And it's primary. And apply. Now we have it back there. Alright, now you can see everything. So, yeah, let's see. First thing we should do now, first thing it does if it detects an NVIDIA driver, it'll pop a little window saying, you need to say your internet so I can get my own driver. Only the only problem I had with this was that I had trouble getting it to log in at one point. So I can get my driver before the that was on the computer out in the living room. It only has one GPU, that's an NVIDIA driver. And so it didn't have any others to fall back on other than its default mod set or something like that. So anyway, and alright, now we're activated. We have internet access on this computer. And we will, I think first thing you should do on most systems is update it when you get started. I could use updater and updater, I think, on here. But I'll just use terminal since I'm familiar with that. So your default terminal is console. Okay, so unlock this big white space over here. I know you can change that, but I would really just out of the box not have it that way. If you're forgetting, start typing over here, I'm going to do something weird. So anyway, let's do sudo. Yeah, the keyboard over here is kind of got a lot of crud underneath the keys, so it doesn't type real well. So that's why I'm typing even slower than I normally do on this. E doesn't seem to work. There it goes. F and up. Yeah. Yeah, I have freezing problems. You know, that's right. I have this password. I had freezing problems on the NVIDIA driver thing out there for a while until I remembered. Oh yeah, I got to change this from Wayland to X11, so I switched it. Once I was doing that, then I could get to do the rest of it because it keep freezing it before I get the NVIDIA driver installed. Mm-hmm. Now I've heard and it says determine the fast mirror, so it's determine fast mirror for it. So we'll get fast mirrors, hopefully. Still, it's a slow computer, so yeah, you don't really have a lot of power here. I think I got two CPUs on here, two cores, and we had two cores, and I got let's see, Fedora 36. Yes, this computer doesn't have a lot of oomph to it. It's got two cores and Intel Pentium T4500, and it's got the same Intel how many cores I had here, but it doesn't seem to. So, yeah. Anyway, it may take a while to do that, so we'll let that go. I think we can do some other things while we're doing this. It just says different things about what I want to do. And let's see, so we can go here, we can go. Let's open up another terminal. I think that'd be safest thing to do. For some weird reason, I'm not sure why. Second terminal you open up is going to be this real small thing. You got to expand it out. And that's finally you can go moving on that part of it. All right, now I think it has a shop installed, but I'm not sure. Nope. So top. See if top's installed. Yeah, it is. Not as easy to read as that one. It's also got sleeping, running, total. Let's see, megabytes memory 5830 total. 250, about 2500 free. So, yeah, I think it must have about around eight or so gigabytes. Or no, 6 gigabytes. What I have got 6. I have two gigs, 2.4 gigs free. And there, it's also got swap. It's all free, open. So, yeah, there she goes. Oops. Yeah, so I wonder how many CPUs we have. Looks like we have 'I don't know how to read this on H top, so I'm not sure exactly how many CPUs it's showing. But I think there's 2 cores to this puppy. And yeah, let's do Neo fetch. Yeah, I need to pull all keys off this keyboard at some point and clean it pop up under there. So okay, so here's Fedora Linux 32 Aspire. That's computer it's on 518.10.-201- dot fsync dot fc36 dot x86 dash underscore 64. That's the kernel it's using is 518.10. And there's a resolution, plasma 5.25. It's using pretty recent a plasma version. And well, I gotta go over here and answer your question there. Yeah, so yeah, it's got 2 at 2.3 gigahertz. Powerful, huh? Intel Pentium. Alright. Let's go over here. Total download size is okay, 9 packages, yes. I'll be right back. These live shows. And back. Using a little spot here. Yeah, so you got all that. It's downloading and processing all that stuff in. Yeah, it's downloading currently all the packages. 297 of them. Woohoo. So anyway, oh yeah. Oh yeah, we want to know the number of cores 2 at 2.3 gigahertz. And we have in GPUs Intel Mobile 4 series chipset and memories. How what we had over there. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Yes. It's doing pipe wire pulse audio on it. You know, one of the things that Chris Titus Tech recommended on this install is that you switch to X11 because of There's too many breakages that happen on Leyland on gaming issues when you're doing gaming. Too many breaks or falls or problems, things like that. So yeah, so you probably want to use X11 on it. If you remember when you first logged in, said it that way. That's how I set for my son. Oh, never finished talking about what my son did. Yeah, well, my son, as I mentioned, I had it on his, I installed this on his laptop, gaming laptop. He has yet to tell me how it does gaming. I mean, I thought I had installed like earlier this week on it, and I thought maybe by now he'd fixed it and played some games on it and said, oh, this works cool, or it doesn't work at all, or whatever, So I have to give a report on that, but I'll probably post something about it on the Linux Saloon comments on Telegram desktop. So, yeah. Any rate, he installed that on his computer, but he's bad about doing the updates I mentioned before, and so which art spin is this? It's not an art spin. Hi Barco, how you doing? Yeah, it's not an art spin basically. It's a Fedora spin, gaming spin, and so that's what makes this a little bit different than most of the gaming distros out there, which are almost all based on Arch. Garuda and all those other ones, almost all based on Arch KDE. This does have KDE on it, but it's not default. You also install the official version, which is a modified GNOME desktop, or you can install vanilla GNOME on it, as well as vanilla KDE, which is what we installed on it. The rest, I kind of installed the Office because then I'd at least see how they modified it. So I'm kind of curious how they modified the GNOME for the desktop. So we're doing updates right now and waiting. Now I don't expect this to play anything like Fallout or 11 or anything like that. So I'm not gonna. I'll probably see how Steam does on, but Steam has a lot of updates and stuff like that. It takes a while to get. Hey. Oh yeah, it also is this okay to do this? See, he's got a lot of fingerprints and stuff like this added in for Glorious Egg Roll, which is the guy who was one of the main distro people on here. And he goes through several of these, seem like. So yes, all of them, pretty much. It's importing keys, so update and that kind of thing. And yeah. Yeah, the default just push enter, it's no, so you want to push Y for sure on there if you wanted to. And there's several of these that you have to go through and do. Since that wine headquarters. And that's install all those things downloaded earlier. So, but yeah, so the update thing. So he basically, one of the cool things this has the ability to do updates like Windows does on the automatic and all that kind of stuff. But he's used to, he wanted Distro to do that. So when I got Distro for you, that's a gaming distro. So yeah, pretty cool. So you can get automatic updates on this, so you don't have to worry about it if you don't want to do that. Or you can set it to not do it. If you like the traditional way of doing updates in Linux, you're used to that, you set it to not do it. Now this has it turned off by default, so you have to go and turn it on if you want the automatic updates. But yeah. Yeah, this is Fedora. It has in its advantages. One, it has the advantage of installing, has the advantage of being a not bleeding edge, but a lot more bleeding edge than Leap or a lot more bleeding edge and Debian, stuff like that. You saw what kind of so what kind of a kernel was on here. That's pretty recent kernel actually. So yeah, and they patched it up and did all sorts of things to make it special for gaming. Now Gloria Segal is the guy that made this distro along with some other people that I mentioned on their website, and he is the guy that did work on Proton G, I think, and stuff like that. Now it's installing, upgrading all the different systems. So yeah, you get a lot of good things on here, a lot of interesting things. It's done, if you look back in the beginning of the episode, or you go to the website that I got listed in the links down in the description, you can check out the various things they've done to the system. They've done a lot to it, actually, quite a bit actually. Do 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 do. And I'm not sure where it's at. Oh, over there. There's several more upgrades. They'll go faster. Something I noticed about Pac-Man on Arch and base distros. Yeah, it'll start with your biggest one first, and it'll go next. So first, let's go like molasses. If you have any big stuff, firmwares or Linux things, add to it, that kind of thing. Yeah, so yeah, there's a kernel core, 518 kernel core. At any rate, they have a lot of 589, boy, they had a lot. Yeah, well, that's right. I'm sure the update thing. It's in your system settings. Oops. You go all the way down to the bottom. And yet software updates down here at the very bottom of the list. Click on that. I'm going to set it automatic. Click on that. And you can have it, and what it'll do is it'll install stuff when you reboot. Software updates will be downloaded automatically when they become available. Updates for applications will be installed immediately, while system updates will be installed the next time the computer is restarted. And you can also check here if you want to use offline updates. Offline updates match my system stability by applying changes while restarting the system. Using update most strongly recommended. So yeah, I guess that's a system setup for so all updates are installed when you reboot or you log out and log back in. That kind of thing. Maybe not log out. Sorry about my throat, guys. I'll probably download and try the Tux Racer, the Extreme Tux Racer, or something like that, and see how it looks. It can handle that. It can handle anything, right? Not really. Yeah. So anyway, you can use offline updates on this, but it automatically manual. Whichever one you want to switch it to. Now, there's more information about the system. Framework version, UT version, kernel version, graphics, weight, and performance. Yeah, I think I was going to mention Chris Tech said that to switch it to X11, basically. Which I'll do here in a minute as soon as it's finished updating. It's like halfway done, over halfway. Or something like that. Almost. Yeah, so you have all your in settings here. And yeah, this background they have here is not bad. Matter of fact, the more I've looked at it, the more scrolling, so to speak. Not bad. It's kind of better than some of the ones I've seen coming out of Fedora. And then I've seen some good ones come out of Fedora too. So yeah, so anyway. Speeding up, it'll go faster and faster hopefully as it gets there. GStreamer plugins. Now, one of the interesting things I mentioned earlier, but I'm thinking for most of y'all got on here, but yeah, yeah, you use it, you sign a end user license agreement when you download the ISO for this distro, so that it can automatically just put all stuff in here. That's has some proprietary stuff in it, like the codecs that you'll need and NVIDIA drivers you'll need and those kind of things. So it's got a pretty good setup here as far as that goes. So they install a bunch of stuff out of the box that then set up things out of the box that you wouldn't normally have set up. You have to do yourself. Trying to get my voice clear the gunk down there in the old throat. Okay. So I'm thinking about something here. I'm not sure what I'm thinking about, but you may have heard DNF isn't the fastest script in the world. But it is pretty quick, especially on my framework. So there's that. And yeah. Alright, running scriptlets. Basically to set up things, make special patches, whatever they have. Yes. And it'd be interesting to see. 11:23 a.m. Yep. Time set correctly. Yay. It's gonna eventually happen. It's like watching paint dry, isn't it? Alrighty. Yeah, after keep remembering it's even though I got the screen over here, the computer's over here, I gotta tap on. I've several times I've started tapping on my framework and I'm like, oh, untapping. Oh, it's on the computer. So just never know what's gonna happen. Yeah, it's thinking about something again. Seems to do this quite frequently. Thinks about something what it's gonna do, and it does it eventually. I say this isn't the fastest computer in the world, that's for sure. It's verifying things now. Of course you gotta verify. OBS Studio game capture. I'm gonna have to open up OBS Studio, see what it looks like on here. See what all features they've added on what all things they've added to. Whoops. Yeah, I should pass. Okay, it's complete. Yay. Got time, huh? Okay. Now we're gonna log out. We're gonna log in X11. First we log out of computer here. Log out. Okay, I don't see where it's set up here. Uh, usually it's down here. You have X11. It's have virtual keyboard instead. There's battery there. Huh. Maybe stuck a whaling then. Yeah. So, it should be okay for now, I guess. Yeah. Well, you can get this. Get this installed. You can do this. System settings. We'll get this power out of here so they don't keep blanking out on us. Power management. And no, we don't run screen. And we want to screen saving. And run when laptop is closed. Turn off screen. Okay, now there's one other thing you have to switch off on here. Apply. That's you do up here, workspace behaviors. And here's screen locking. And you turn that off. Now, we'll close that on us. And we're seeing her chatting away and stuff. So let's look at other things here. See what we got out of the box on this thing. Plus I'm curious about OBS, what they have plugins they do automatically launched in their settings. System settings we're just in. Office. It's got all your LibreOffice stuff. It's also got KO or K organizer. It's got a lot of the standard Kmail and contact and all that kind of stuff that you expect to get in the KDE. Multimedia. There's OBS Studio, Pulse Audio, DLC, Kdenlive, Camuso, and Dragon Player, and Elsa, Music Player. Yeah, so that's kind of like one of the interesting things is that you have everything here you need. You got OBS Studio to record your feeds, and you got Kdenlive to edit it. Now, I would prefer a shortcut, but that's me. So, let's check and see what OBS Studio has on it. Uh-oh, failed to initialize video. Your CPU may not be supported, or your graphics drivers may need to be updated. Okay. So I guess I can't test out what it has on here. Yeah, this old computer doesn't have the gumption to even run the video drivers or the drivers that it has and stuff like that. So there you go. See what else it's got on here. Internet. It's got Firefox as its default, obviously. And you got Kmail and all this KD Connect. Yeah, KD Connect's a pretty cool program. Used that several times. Graphics. You have Blender, GwenView, which is an image viewer, Color Paint, which is a paint program, and LibreOffice Draw, which is a LibreOffice Draw program, obviously. And so that's your graphics. No, you probably have to install a GIMP on there, or in my case, I would install Inkscape and Krita. But yeah. And games, you have your Steam, you have your Lutris, Proton Up QT. Now, one thing I didn't notice, all it says, you said you can just run games in it. Thing I didn't find out on my son's computer, came in saying it says it was a Windows program, so it won't run it. So, how about that? How to fix that? Because basically, when you run Steam and you go to update, you gotta initialize a what do you call it? You gotta tell Proton that you want to use it. When you tell Proton you want to use it, all the games marked as Windows only. Suddenly you can install them on your part of your setup. Now, when it says it out of the box, when you set up, I thought maybe that might be set, but it wasn't. I had to go in and set up my son's to use it. Updating, downloading updates. Yeah, Steam has several updates. That's what I'm saying. I'm about doing this on here, but shoot, we went through a bunch of other updates. This isn't as bad as that, I don't think. So we'll go in here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. How you can get Windows games on Linux using Proton. But you have to go nowhere to go to settings, set it that way. Using the X around it. Steam, I guess. Yeah, it's almost finished with updating the first part at least. Not sure it's only updating Sky or what. I'm not going to install any games on Steam because one, I don't know if this computer can handle it, and two, I don't know if it takes too long to install and to look at it. For us, we'd be here all day if we did that, so. I'm just gonna get in there and show you how to initiate Proton if it lets me and that kind of thing. And we're extracting packages. Okay, that's unpackaging runtime again. And okay. Hopefully I remember my username. Should be alright. Oh, the wrong one. That's what should be. Log in. And I gotta get my phone so I can check my emails to see if I got the code for this Steam thing. Yes, it does have something from Steam in here. And it is. Yes. Nah. And this is one-time code thing that they usually use to get in. Anybody says their Steam account. Woohoo. I remember my username and password on that. And here I am in Steam Library Store. Now what you have to do. I don't have a lot on here. I don't know much of a gamer person, but I have a few things. I have Hollow Knight I've played a little bit. And that. You ready to, what you have to do is you have to go up here to Steam. Settings. Down at the bottom of settings, there's something called Steam Play. You have to enable it right there. That will allow you to play Windows games on there using Proton. Now there's other things you can do. I'm not sure if they have them set up like that. Right now, let's see. Yeah, get right there for me. Yes. Oh. Oh, restart Steam, okay. Now once you do the Proton thing, you have to restart Steam in order to do anything else. They won't let you do anything else till you finished it. Okay. Steam news. Okay. So we're gonna get properties of one of these. Okay, no launch options there. There's something put into here that'll enable it to do faster. I forget what it is, but it's been so long since I've looked at this, but yeah, you can plug in certain codes and commands and things there, depending on that'll help enable it to do it faster. But I'll see what it does later on out of the box. I'll report what my experience is on it. I don't think this will be able to play this game simply because it's not that good of a computer. Yeah, that's how you doesn't have any of those plugged in automatically, so we'll see what happens. Alright, so that's Steam. Yeah, slow as that should. Alright. So we had games. Got Lutris there also automatically installed. And you came on education. Any games y'all are interested in seeing happen? Education. Yeah. Administrative. Run. Yum extender. Language. HTTP graphic tools and firewall. So that's about the extent of everything they have installed out of the box on this distro. And yeah. So now I got it cooking on here and it works, see. Slackware installed, kind of had problems and then it died off, so you have this cooking. Now let's see. Oh, backgrounds. I was curious about background. Now you can download as many backgrounds as you want, probably. Sure what they might have. Just wonder what they might have. Um, okay. Not sure where the backgrounds. They call background wallpaper one too. Well, these things by Kitty, those you just type in here. Let's see. Backgrounds for sale. That's what you want. That's that kind of backgrounds for start. So the startup services you have, you can turn them on and off there, that kind of thing. But that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for. Let's see. Wallpaper. Red wall. Red wall. What's wall? Maybe you want to know. Mm-hmm. Yield to me results one. Oh, right there per se. Your desktop wallpaper. Ta-da. Okay, you have these. It's like 36 Fedora and 36 Fedora. Basically, that's one we have on there right now. And you have the same one, and you have this. Interesting. Interesting little thing. We can get new wallpapers right there by downloading them. So like here, I'll do a search on DAR. And it's before it has error thing. Anyway, so when we start doing that, you might as well just give up, reboot, and then I might do it. It works better in X11, I think. Not sure why they can't switch to X11 on this. Anyway, that's how you switch wallpapers. And this has default wallpaper, which is interesting. Yeah, so you may like, you may not, whatever. I'm kind of ambivalent about it. I like scenery, basically. Mountains or lakes and stuff like that, for the most part. So that's Nobara, and I guess that's about it for today, huh? So we're getting close to 2 hours on the spot, so we'll shut her down about now, I guess. But I guess I should list out what I'm gonna, whether I like like this distro or whatever. Well, I have installed it on my desktop out there. I'll play some games on it, see how it works. that kind of thing. And yeah, the only thing we could do if we wanted to would be to show a standard touch game. I can do it real quick if you want to do that. I mean, you're tired of watching me and stuff, you can always leave, I suppose. Uh, okay, so sudo F and the D key to work. One D, come on, D, D. There we go. And his keyboard's kind of old. Not very good in that regard. Sudo DNF install. I'll just use short to save time. That's short for install, but you can type the whole word install if you want. And we're gonna do go. Well, remember what the name of this is. Stream text types. Let's see if that does that. If it doesn't, I'm not gonna do it. Call it a day. Does it? Looks like it. Hey, I found it. Yay. I did it correctly. So yeah, so we'll install that. And we'll play this game for a little while and see how it goes. On this computer. I'll give you an idea of the gameplay. Video capture card like this. I'm not sure how it's gonna work, but we'll see how it works. This is the cool thing about Linux. You can just say, and you download any program you want, pretty much. They're within reason, of course, but not Windows programs. Ew. Okay, so it's installed Extreme Text Tracer. Now, go to Games. And Extreme Text Tracer right up there at the top. Alright. Looks like we're... Yeah, probably some of the things it says it can do is it said to automatically recognize most controllers. Let's see if they recognize this one. Okay. It's this. You see me right now, this controller. Hmm. Maybe the thing about it right now. I don't know. We're gonna have it right now. Right? Yeah, the gameplay is kind of jerky on this. As you can tell. It's smooth on my end, but it's a little jerky looking on your end. I don't know if that can be improved with some patches on the capture card or what. Find out, I guess, later on. I'll let you know in Telegram how it works. So, but this is slow computer, that's probably part of it, so that's probably part of it. So it seems to run pretty smooth on the computer itself, though. It's just the jerkiness of the jerkiness of the graphics part, I think. But yeah, you can set up other things. It might work better in B and C. It might work better on the virtual setting when to set it up that way, because that would give you more goes. Yeah, so that's Nobara. You install the game that a lot of people like. It's Extreme Text Racer. And it worked pretty good on the computer itself. And they expect it to, because it's not that, it's a little intensive graphics game, but it's not that big of a graphics game. You know what I mean? So, anyway, I think that's all I'll do for today. Unless somebody is out there who wants some more information on this, we can either do whatever. Yeah, so anyway, if I was to use this, I think I might try and use this at some point on maybe one of my machines in here. But I'll at least have it installed on 2 computers in our house. My son's gaming laptop, I'll say he continues to like it. And my desktop out in the living room. And it's also a gaming with NVIDIA driver. So we'll see how that works. So I'll report back later on and tell you how it went. Until then, I'll see you next time. And the Linux Force be with you. Bye.